Hey guys, so today I thought I would do a little bit of a chatty video about what I was doing while I took a break from YouTube, what writing I was doing. So I really wanted to talk about this. I can't remember if I mentioned it when I made my coming back to YouTube video, but if you don't know a little bit about me, hi, I am CarsonLee. I'm 21 years old. I'm going to be a senior in college. I started my YouTube channel to talk about my novel Valor, and then my grandfather got sick. He got brain cancer. He passed away a couple months ago, and I'm just now sort of coming back to YouTube. I'm working on my second novel, Might, while I am still editing my first novel, Valor, and I was a little bit busy during that almost a year where I was gone from YouTube. So I wanted to talk to you about what writing I was doing and what happened with that writing. So while I was gone, I ended up planning and outlining a new novel. This novel was called I Am a Monster, and it was called that because of a poem by Dorothea Lasky. It's called Who to Tell. I'm going to read you the first three stanzas because the reason why I named it I Am a Monster is in the first three stanzas, and they are: who to tell no one cares when no one cares. No one takes the time to care for a monster. I care for monsters, but only because I am one. I go in the dark house with the ghosts, and the ghosts take my coat off, the junkies. And this poem is longer. I don't know, I read it in my poetry class and I really liked it. Another couple of lines in the poem that inspired me are: wildness is not sadness, the wilderness is not sad, it is naked. I'm not mad any longer, people eat tomatoes, people eat bread. I am a monster, I eat life, but only because I am losing mine into a horrible void that for you is only an idea. Still, I don't think love is an idea. I don't think compassion is an idea. I don't think babies are born of loneliness. I don't think the sea is cold. I only think it is cool, cool, cool sea, blue-green mystery, mysterious fish. If only I had been born a fish instead of a monster. So I will link a copy of that poem down below. Those are just a couple of the lines that were jumping out to me right now. But I read that poem for a poetry class in university. I go to the University of Connecticut, UConn. And just something about it jumped out at me. The idea of being a monster and caring for monsters, certain people feeling monstrous. And I had wanted to write a morally gray character. I did talk to some people on YouTube about writing a morally gray character last year. I was going to do it for last November for my NaNoWriMo project, and that didn't end up happening. But so this novel was kind of spurned from that, and my main character's name was Sorcha. All of my names were kind of taken from Irish Gaelic tradition, and Sorcha was a queen who had certain powers. I'm not really into the whole really planning out fantasy powers because I'm really not that big of a planner. So basically the magic system in this novel was that the gods and goddesses of this world would touch you, like physically touch you, and you would gain powers. So the people in the royal family had the most powers, and they called them blessings. So Sorcha had a couple of different blessings that were really strong, and she almost couldn't control them. They were so strong. And in the beginning of the novel, Sorcha's sister dies. And nobody really knows anything about Sorcha, but Sorcha is now the queen. She was a princess before, her sister was queen, and now she is the queen, and she is hiding things, and she is very cold towards the people of her kingdom. And I have a lot of other really female-focused main characters, which I liked because I tend to write historical fiction. My other two novels are historical fiction, and although I do have female main characters, a lot of history is male-focused because That's just how it is. I can't erase it or change it. So I do my best to focus on women in my other works, but as I started sort of playing with this idea, I just knew that it was women, that my characters were meant to be women, and that they weren't necessarily supposed to have love interests. It was supposed to be about sisterhood and the bonds of friendship and motherhood and caring for others, very female-driven emotions and connections. And so I started drafting this novel. I had planned it all out in Scrivener, and I used the 3-act 27 chapter outline. Catty-tastic uses it. I'll link her channel down below if you want to check out her writing videos. I really like them. So I used that format, and I planned out every chapter in Scrivener, so I knew how this story began and ended, and I started drafting it. I think I got about 6 chapters done. I was about 20,000 words into this novel when I realized that it was not working. What had happened when I was writing this novel is that Sorka, my main character, and some of my other characters grew too big for the story I had built them. They had so much personality, they had so much character, they were meant to do bigger things than I had planned out for them to do, and they weren't satisfied with the plot that I had given them, and I just didn't know at that point what I was going to do with it. So I ended up scrapping it, and I haven't touched it in half a year, maybe even over half a year. Here's the thing. I still love those characters. Those characters have my heart. They are so amazing. I want to write them a story that fits them. I want to write Sorka the story that she was meant to have. I think she is so compelling. I think she is just scarred and fascinating and powerful and lonely. I think she's a character that I'm meant to write and that needs a story that other people need to hear about, but the story that I had for her was not hers. Now looking back at it, I can say that it was just a really weak story to begin with. A lot of the twists and turns and things like that were just circumstantial things. My characters didn't have a lot of agency in the story, is what I'm trying to say. It was more things happening to them, even through to the end, which isn't really what you want. I would like Sorka, especially because she is so powerful and it's about her power, I want her to be making decisions and to have setbacks and failures and triumphs based on those decisions that she's making, and not based on what's happening around her as much as it is in the original story idea. The light has changed, the sun has gone down behind a cloud, but we're just gonna keep going because this is the time that I have to film. Please let me know down below if you have ever given up on a project this big, because I never have, and it was such a hard decision for me. Oh look, the sun is coming back. It was such a hard decision for me to say that I was done with these characters, even for just a little bit, because like I said, I still adore them. I still think that they have a story. I just don't think that I have found the story that they are meant to have yet. I don't know what it is yet. Once I do know what it is, I definitely want to tell it. But I don't know what to do with them. I feel so inspired by them. Even in Might, which is the novel that I am currently drafting, some of my characters end up taking on these personalities of these other characters, or I want my main characters to speak to Sorka, and I don't know. This is kind of just a chatty video. I wanted to let you guys know what I had done during that break time and these characters that I may or may not revisit. I think I want to find a way to do something with them in the meantime, maybe a short story or something like that. And I want to introduce you guys to a couple more of these characters. I'm stumbling over my words, but I think I have an opportunity here because I don't have their story yet and I'm not drafting it to kind of share them with you and talk about maybe what we could do with them. If you guys have any ideas, maybe I'll make a couple more videos over the next couple of months about these characters, introducing you to more of them and their personalities, sharing some photos that I have for inspiration, and you guys can let me know what you think they should do or writing exercises you think I should do with them to try and find what their story is. So maybe that'll be really fun and we'll have a fun time. My battery is dying now, so I am going to go. Please let me know down below if you have given up on a project this big and what you do in the meantime. I will see you guys next video, and happy writing. Bye!